thank you, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Fishmonger Stories. My name is George, but I go by the name Fishmonger Stories. Today, I have 5 easy African riddles and a story to share with you. 5 easy African riddles to see if you are smarter than an average African child. And then after that, I will share a story with you, okay? But first things first, don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment. Because in our culture, if somebody cooks food for you, you enjoy and you say thank you. Likewise, if I share a story with you, all I'm expecting is for you to like, leave a comment, or just say thanks, or just press the like. When you do that, YouTube suggests the story to other people. And that's all I'm asking you to do. Like, leave a comment, say thanks, or say you can do better, Fishmonger Stories. And that's all I'm asking of you. Are you ready for some riddles? Are you ready for some 5 easy riddles and then a story? Riddle number 1. What flies day and night but goes nowhere? What flies day and night but goes nowhere? Itty bitty African riddle. What flies day and night but goes absolutely nowhere? Itty bitty. If you say the flag, you are correct. The flag, it flies day and night but goes absolutely nowhere. Riddle number 2. What goes up, up and down without going anywhere? What goes up, up and down without going anywhere? You tell me, what goes up and down without going anywhere? If you said a ladder, you are correct. Yes, the ladder goes up, the ladder goes down without going absolutely anywhere. Riddle number 3. Riddle number 3. Itty bitty African riddles to see if you are smarter than an average African child. Riddle number 3. You must break me before you can use me. You must break me before you can use me. Who am I? You must break me before you can use me. Who am I? You must break me before you can use me. Who am I? Yes. If you say an egg, you are correct. You have to break an egg before you can use it. Riddle number 4. Riddle number 4. The more you have it, the less you see it. The more you have it, the less you see it. Who am I? The more you have it, the less you see it. Who am I? The more you have it, the less you see it. Who am I? The more you have it, the less you see it. Who am I? If you said darkness, yes, the more darkness you have, the less you see it. Think like an African child. Think like a Banyankole child. Think like a Yoruba. Think like an Igbo. Think like a Kisi. Think like a Turgen. The more you have it, the less you see it. Yes, darkness. My 5th and final riddle to see if you can think like a Maasai boy. The more you take, the more you leave behind. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What is it? The more you take, the more you leave behind. The more you take, the more you leave behind. The more you take, the more you... I'll give you a hint. The more you take, the more you leave behind. The more you take, the more you leave behind. The more you take, Footsteps, yes. The more footsteps you take, the more footsteps you leave behind. Don't think too hard. Just think like an African child. Are you ready for a story? If I say hadithi hadithi, you say hadithi njoo. If I say paukwa, you say pakawa. If I say sahani, you say ya mchele. Hadithi hadithi, hadithi njoo. Paukwa, pakawa. Sahani, ya mchele. If I say ina, you say out. If I say ina, out. Hopi you yaide, hopi you yaide. Hopi you yaide, look. Hopi you yaide, hopi you yaide. Hopi you yaide, look ama. Open your eyes, look at me. Let me impart some story. Let me impart some wisdom upon you. Once upon a time, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, there was a poor man. This poor man, he lived in a village where he was surrounded by rich, great farmers. Farmers of great repute who had large fields where they grew all sorts of maize, millet, and wheat. But this poor man, he had absolutely nothing except for his 3 sons and a loyal donkey. Yes, are you ready for a story? Can I tell you a story? This poor man, he had only 3 sons and a loyal donkey. A donkey that he loved so much, just like one of his sons. One day, this poor man, he tied his loyal donkey on a tree. A great wind came and hollered back and forth. The wind came and hollered back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until the donkey came loose. When the loyal donkey came loose, the loyal donkey strayed into the next farmer's farm. And this loyal donkey started to eat on the maize. This loyal donkey started to eat on the millet. This loyal donkey started to eat on the wheat. Oh, when the farmer's wife saw that loyal donkey eating on a maize, eating on a millet, eating on a wheat, she broke off a big stick and ran and smacked the donkey on the head, and the donkey fell down. Quickly died instantly. From a distance, the poor man saw his loyal donkey dead, and he came running. He kept running. He took the same stick that the farmer's wife used and took it and smacked it on the farmer's wife. And the farmer's wife died quickly. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, he said. It wasn't long. The farmer came and saw his dead wife. Oh, the farmer, he ran and took the same stick and smacked the poor man on the head. And he died quickly. An eye for an eye, he said. A tooth for a tooth. Not too far in the distance, the 3 sons of the poor man saw everything, and they came running. When they saw their father dead, they came running and they attacked the farmer. And the farmer died quickly. An eye for an eye, said the 3 sons. A tooth for a tooth. You kill our father, we kill you too. Oh, the 3 sons, they were arrested and brought before a wise judge. Oh, the wise judge, he asked the 3 sons, why? Who started all this massacre? Who is responsible for all this death? Who is to blame for this massive death? It quickly became apparent that this death, the source of all this death, was nothing but the wind. A natural disaster. Oh, and the judge, he ordered that the wind be arrested and brought before him. The wind was arrested and the wind was brought before the judge. Yes, the wind was arrested and the wind was brought before the judge. And the judge asked the wind, wind, why did you cause all this death? Why did you cause all this massacre? Why did you cause all this calamity? And the wind hollered back at the wise judge and said, I did not cause anything. All I did was untie the donkey. The rest of the death, the rest of the massacre, you all did upon yourself. All I did, said the wind, was untie the donkey. The rest was done by your evil hearts, said the wind. You could have just tied back the donkey, said the wind. You could have just tied back the donkey, but you chose not to tie back the donkey. You chose to blame and kill one another, said the wind. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, sometimes when we are faced by a natural disaster or a calamity or multitude of death or a pandemic, we tend to blame each other. We tend to point fingers. We tend to start revenge upon ourselves. We blame China. We blame the president. We blame the CDC. But sometimes the best thing to do is to tie back the donkey. Yes, just tie back the donkey and stop all this unnecessary death. Stop all this unnecessary massacre. Just tie back the donkey. That's the best you can do. Just tie back the donkey. And you say, Fishmonger Stories, how do I tie back the donkey? The donkey has been loose and is eating all the maize and the millet and the wheat. Just tie back the donkey. How? Tie back the donkey by washing your hands. Tie back the donkey by social distancing and wearing a mask and taking a vaccine when it's available. But Fishmonger Stories, vaccine, we still don't know the side effects. Well, you take Tylenol, paracetamol, you take Motrin, you take antibiotics. Yes, Tylenol, paracetamol can cause irreversible kidney damage. Motrin can cause bleeding and even death. And some of these antibiotics can cause a lot of severe allergic reaction, even anaphylactic reaction that can lead to death or even paralysis. My fellow men, you take Viagra made by Pfizer, but you won't take a vaccine made by Pfizer. Where is your priority, my brother? If you can take a Viagra made by Pfizer, but you won't take a vaccine made by Pfizer, where is your priority? Tie back the donkey. Tie back the donkey. Owe sabiona yawe katonda soifu. Owe sabiona yawe katonda soifu. Niwe ngene no sugwe katonda soifu. Niwe ngene no sugwe katonda soifu yawe. Niwe ngene no sugwe. Niwe ngene no sugwe katonda soifu. Niwe ngene no sugwe katonda soifu. Owe sabiona yawe katonda soifu. Owe sabiona yawe katonda soifu. Niwe ngene no sugwe. Niwe ngene no sugwe katonda soifu. Niwe ngene no sugwe katonda soifu. Just tie back the donkey. Until then, see you again next week, every Saturday at 3 p.m.